to another episode of Regional Italian Cuisine. My name is Caterina, of course, and on tonight's program we're going to be going once again to that wonderful area of Campania, which is where our lovely chef Lisa Bolle comes from, and we're going to be doing some really simple recipes from that region. Now, the first recipe is going to be entailing fave, broad beans. Now, this is a very old vegetable and was basically introduced to the Italians by the Egyptians. It's been around forever and a day, grows in those wonderful Mediterranean climates, and they're a beautiful bean. These are one of the beans that need to actually be podded, okay? You can slip your finger in under the skin and you'll get this wonderful velvety texture. In restaurants, let me just say that we like to double peel the broad bean, but for these recipes, Lisa's just going to be leading the whole bean as is. The most important thing you need to know about broad beans, though, of course, that if a recipe calls for 500 grams, you need to purchase about 2 kilos because they lose about 3/4 of their weight once they've been cooked. It takes about 10 minutes if they're cooked in their outer skin, but if you discard the outer skin, it takes even less. These are one of the wonderful dishes that you can have with fresh pecorino cheese or just eat them raw. But anyway, we'll go into the kitchen and Lisa will show us a very simple recipe as a starter, which is fave, the broad beans with goat's cheese on bruschetta. And she's going to start by, I think, crushing some garlic. So let's go across to Lisa.
Heat up a pan. Drizzle a good amount of olive oil. Throw garlic in. You know when the oil is ready, when you can hear the garlic frying off and you can see that it's starting to brown. Now they're starting to golden up. Now we have to add the broad beans so they don't burn. So we've got the broad beans, throw them in. Ooh. That one that fell out. Hey. Around a bit. Okay. Add a good thing of salt. Pepper. This is our fresh goat's cheese. You can buy it at most supermarkets or local delis. We don't want to melt the goat's cheese, we just want it slightly warm, so we've crumbled that. Just let that sit on top. Crumble it in. Doesn't have to be cut, it crumbles anyway. Some nice fresh bread we made today. So we're just going to grill off some bread. You can use this as a bruschetta if you like. Now, on a hot plate, here we go. Or on the griller, or if you have a toaster, put it in the toaster. Alright, now that our bread is nice and toasted, it's crispy. While it's still hot, we need to rub a good clove of garlic over it. And just rub on the bread. Put a little drizzle of olive oil. Get a good heap of this mixture and just place it on top. Okay. Oh, they're flying everywhere. Here we go. A handful of whole fresh parsley leaves. Then just drizzle it with another little bit of olive oil. Fave and goat's cheese bruschetta.
Now, viewers, for the next dish that Lisa is going to prepare is a terrific dish of quaglie quails in umido, which is like a stew of, and it's a white dish, this without a tomato base, with artichokes. Now, artichokes, of course, take me back to my childhood because these were one of the things that we used to sit around in the afternoons and take out all the outer leaves. It was a real kids thing, but you've got to remember to always place the artichokes in acidulated water because they tend to go very dark. But just to give you a little bit of a story on artichokes, now, Italians love this. This is one of their favourite vegetables. It grows prolifically in the south, Campania, of course, which is Lisa's area, Puglia, Lazio, and Sicily, because it needs that beautiful, wonderful Mediterranean climate. Now, the artichokes, being a globe artichoke, are from the thistle family. And basically what is edible is the heart and the immediate stem. Now, when we talk about artichokes, you get lots, well, colours ranging from green to purple. You get lots of sizes from the very small to the very big, and they can be with thorns or without thorns. Now, with artichokes, the first growth of the season are called la mamma or le mamme, and this is the first choke which Italians usually use at the start to basically run their teeth down the back of the leaves. These are big and sort of quite firm on the outside. The secondary growth, which is a bit further down the plant, are called I figli, and these are the really tender, beautiful hearts. And then the third growth, which is right down the bottom of the plant, are called I nipoti, meaning the little, well, I don't actually even know the translation for that, but I nipoti, the Italians will know what that means. These are the smaller artichokes, which are basically used for preserving. And just on a little note, the Italians export about 98% of the world's crop of artichokes, so that's how important it is. Yeah, it's a great dish, and Lisa's just going to show you how to prepare the artichokes and then put them together with the quails to get a fantastic umido of this dish. So let's go into the kitchen and see how Lisa does this.
So just with heel of your knife, cut the neck off, and your quail is ready. Now we're making the garlic and parsley butter for the artichokes. So, if you don't have a mortar pesto at home, this is an easy way to do it. Just with your knife, push down. There you go. So now we get some butter, which has been sitting at room temperature. There we go. Just squash it down. Now to this butter, we're going to add the garlic that we just chopped really finely. So add as little or as much as you like, depends. There we go, obviously I don't much. And also we're going to add some chopped parsley, fresh pepper, and a little bit of salt. There we go. Now just mix all of this together until you get a paste consistency. That's why it's important that the butter is at room temperature. Okay, so this is our butter mix that we made with the roughly chopped garlic, parsley, salt and pepper. We've just mixed it down to this consistency and it's easy to spread. Now that we've cleaned the artichokes and we have the hearts, we've just sat them in some lemon water so that way they do not turn black. Now with the butter mix that we've just made, simply get your artichoke heart and smear the butter mix on it, a thick layer. Okay, we're now going to deglaze with a white wine. Add our artichokes, buttered side up. So just pop them straight in like this. Now, we're going to reduce this to a very slow simmer and pop the lid on for about 15 minutes or 20 minutes. We're going to check. Okay, now these have been cooking for about 20 minutes. There we go. Now we're just going to add a good amount of peas. Now these are just straight out of a bag, they've been frozen, which is fine. So we're just going to add them straight in. Just give it a bit of a stir. Now they'll only take about 5 minutes to cook. So put the lid on and let it cook for another 5 minutes and then it's ready to serve up. Pick up all the peas and onions and just make a bed on the side of this plate. Then simply rest your quails on top of this. Use a little bit of fresh olive oil, bit of that chopped parsley we used before, and put that in the middle of the table, and there you go. It's our quails with artichoke hearts and peas.